Gather around, children. Now, I'm calling this series the Amarna Royals. And we've talked about two of them, the pharaohs, Akhenaten and Tutankhamun. However, there are two more. They are two of the biggest badasses in all of Egyptian history. Yas, queen! You get where I'm going with this? You can't do this period without talking about the two queens, Nefertiti and Akhenaten. Now, a lot of people know these names. They were the names of the two female leads in the Mummy series. Akhenaten was Imhotep's love interest, kept trying to bring her back from the dead, and Nefertiti ended up being the daughter of the pharaoh. Oh, by the way, the pharaoh in those movies was Seti I. We'll get to him. However, not many people know that those two were actually real queens in Egypt. Although they got the time wrong, however, they got the fact that they were both absolute badasses right. So today we're going to talk about Queen Nefertiti. Now, her origins remain debated, at best. Some say that she was the daughter of Ai, who ended up being the visor to Tutankhamun, and one of the power brokers, who eventually crowned himself pharaoh, and so forth. We've talked about that. Or she was a Mitanni princess. Wow, that one goes from zero to hero real fast. You're either the daughter of the leader of a coup d'etat, or a real legitimate princess. Her full name was Neferneferuaten Nefertiti. This means perfect are the beauties of Aten, and the beautiful one has come. From her birth, she was prepared to be more than just ceremonial beauty. She was trained in ritual, language, and leadership. Effectively, the Kate Middleton or Princess Diana of ancient Egypt. Around 15 years old, she married Imhotep IV, a prince whose reign would change Egypt forever. In reliefs, she appears beside him. Same scales, same gestures, same authority. This was unheard of in ancient Egyptian times, and was a visual representation that she was an equal and not subordinate. Like I said, total badass. Together, the two faced the entrenched power of Egypt, a religious empire wealthier than the crown, the church, the Amun priesthood. Please tell me you're seeing the similarities there. You would think we would learn at some point. I mean, this keeps being a problem all throughout history. I'm just saying. Early depictions of the couple show them kissing and embracing in public, something that was absolutely unheard of in ancient Egyptian times. This was a broadcast to the world that the two of them weren't just king and queen. They were equals, partners, united not just spiritually, but politically. The couple then began elevating Aten. Worship moved into open sunlight. This was known as the Amarna style. You see, this style of religion replaced the stiff functionality of the Amun priesthood with a warmth and realism. You see, in depictions and art, their bodies were depicted with an elongated neck and head. This was symbolic of refinement or divine grace. The body itself became a hieroglyph for enlightenment. No, not the Anunnaki. Though it is said during this time that the art was more realistic to what they looked like, rather than severe symbology like the other periods. I'm just calling it as I see it. Shortly after that, Imhotep IV renamed himself Akhenaten, and they built the new capital, Amarna. Now, Nefertiti's power reached unprecedented heights. She wore a blue war crown. She herself performed rituals and offered directly to Aten alone. Yet again, something that was unheard of. In every depiction, she appears as an equal. Their public intimacy, such as holding hands, kissing, playing with their daughters, actually became a symbol of state religion itself. Love is divine order. Together, the couple had 6 daughters: Meritaten Mikentaten, Anaxahepaten, Neferneferuaten, Tashirat, Neferneferu, and Serapine. They had one son, Tutankhaten. For the first time in Egyptian history, motherhood, affection, and leadership were fused into sacred governance. During the Durbar festival, Nefertiti's name appeared inside royal cartouches. This is proof that not only was she equal, she had become co-pharaoh. Under the name Neferneferuaten, Akhenaten, Foreign envoys bowed not only to the king, but to the king and queen because they shared divine current. You see, she represented a radiant new archetype, the sacred feminine actively commanding. Around year 12, though, she disappeared from the record. Theories range from death to political rebranding to succession. This involved the name Semenkaker. Now, whether she died or transformed into another royal persona, we don't know. But her influence had already reshaped Egypt's theology and art. After Akhenaten's death, Aten's cult fell, and their only son, Tutankhaten, under the advisement of restored the Amun priesthood. The royal couple's names were erased. The city of Amarna was deserted. It was a literal attempt to bury the light that the two created. Please tell me you're seeing the similarities here. Like, again, you think we would learn. You know, that's not fair. We would. If we knew real history. Which is out there. You just have to find it. Or listen to a round-faced history guy. Insert shameless self-promotion here. In 1912, Ludwig Borchardt found Nefertiti's painted bust in sculptor Thutmose's workshop. She was absolutely beautiful. Perfect symmetry, gentle smile. The face became the global symbol of timeless grace. For a woman who was erased from history, she ended up becoming the most recognizable face of it. You see, Nefertiti paved the way, showing that feminine power can command an empire without sacrificing compassion. Her rule fused intellect, beauty, motherhood, and political strategy into one archetype. You see, public displays of affection that scandalized her court were more than affection. They were ritual acts of equality, a declaration that love itself could rule beside power. Her legacy transcended erasure. She is the prototype for every woman who leads without permission, goes against the status quo, loves without fear, and refuses to shrink from her own brilliance. She wasn't just beautiful, she was sovereign, because she was the first woman in all of history to show what true feminine power was. Grace, dignity, poise. She is the original female badass in all of history, which is why she deserves her own exhibit on oneancientearth.com with her own bracelet. The exhibit and the Nefertiti bracelet will be up later today, and we'll show it tonight on live. She was an absolute badass. And with that being said, thanks for watching. The best way to support me is to head over to oneancientearth.com. Merch store, Discord, Vibe PEMF device, Vaggie Vibe VNS device, SoundCloud, stone jewelry, and so much more. I will get the Nefertiti exhibit up this evening, and we'll have the bracelet and everything on live tonight. If you haven't had a chance to go check out oneancientearth.com, you really should. There's some really cool shit there. And with that being said, be nice, be kind, be patient.